welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and today I want to show you how I've painted my son's bedside tables. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how I've painted my son's bedside cabinets. So recently we just finished painting my son's bedroom. We're in the process of redecorating and organising it at the moment, so I won't show you the whole bedroom today, but I wanted to share with you how I've painted these bedside cabinets. The rest of the furniture in his bedroom, like the desk and the bookshelf and the cupboard doors, are mainly white, so I wanted these bedside cabinets to match that. They were originally pine, but I decided that I wanted to paint them and make them the same colour so that the room would flow. I think they look really good and I'm really pleased with the finished result, and I really like watching videos like this one, so I thought I'd share what I like watching with you. So here is how I have painted my son's bedside cabinets. This is Ted's bedside table before I painted it. So as you can see, it's just a plain pine colour. So the first thing I did was to clean the inside. So I vacuumed the drawers first and then I gave them a wash. I did this in the kitchen because upstairs in our spare room where I paint them, we have carpet, so I didn't want to get the carpets wet. I didn't mind getting the kitchen floor too wet because you can always dry that, but the carpets you can't dry. So yeah, I basically vacuumed the drawers and made sure they were all clean, and once they were clean I then decided to wash the cabinet. So I got some hot soapy water and a cloth, and I just gave them a wipe down and got rid of any dirty marks on them. Once I'd cleaned the bedside cabinets, I then went upstairs and I organised our spare room. So I took any furniture out that might get in the way, and then I put a big plastic dust sheet on the floor. I was going to paint in the garage, but unfortunately our garage door wouldn't close the other week, and we've had to force it shut, so we now need a new garage door. So I just wanted to get on and paint these cabinets because it's a job I've been meaning to do for a while. So I just basically put a plastic sheet down and covered the floor, and once the floor and some of the furniture was covered, I then got some cardboard boxes to reinforce the plastic. I know what I'm like when it comes to paint. I seem to get it everywhere even though I cover everything in plastic. So I thought if I put the cardboard boxes down, that would make it easier. And also the gloss paint, I have to say, is very sticky as well, so I was a bit afraid it would stick to the plastic sheet, so that's why I also put the cardboard down. And then once that was done, I then started to paint. So I used a primer first. This is what I read on the internet. To paint any sort of wood that may have been varnished, you need to use a primer first. So I'm just mixing the paint with an old paintbrush that we had downstairs. I didn't have anything longer, unfortunately. So yes, I'm mixing the paint, and once the paint is mixed, I then pour it into this small tray, and I have a roller paintbrush that was brilliant and did a really good job at painting everything really evenly. So with this I just painted the top. So I started at the top and worked my way down basically. So I painted the top and then I painted around the sides of the cabinet, and I also painted on the inside. I know that nobody's really going to see the inside of the cabinet, but or the back either, but I just wanted to do it for my own peace of mind really. So yeah, I basically just start to paint the whole cabinet. Once I had painted the main body of the cabinet, I then moved on to painting the drawers. But before I could paint the drawers, I actually had to remove the handles. So I'm using a crosshead screwdriver because there's a crosshead screw in there, and I'm unscrewing the handle from the drawer. It didn't take me too long. It was a fairly simple job, and I had to do it on all 3 drawers as well, so that I could paint the handle separately rather than painting it on the chest of drawers. I wanted to paint it separately. So yeah, once I'd done those, I then moved on to painting the drawers as well. Again, I'm going to start with a primer paint to paint the drawers. So I did 2 coats of primer, but I don't show you how I've done the second coat because it's exactly the same with the first, and this video would have gone on forever if I had. So yes, I'm doing the first coat of primer paint here, and I basically paint all the way round the drawers, but I've left the bottom part of the drawer because I didn't want the paint to smudge. So I left the drawer standing up, and I basically painted all round the drawer. So I painted the back, the sides and the inside, and I just left that back panel until it had dried, and then I go back and paint that later. Finished painting all of the drawers, I then moved on to painting the handles for those drawers as well. And the easiest way I found to do this is to turn the handle upside down and paint the bottom part first, and then flip it over and paint the top part while it's sitting on a piece of cardboard. This isn't the easiest job, but this was the easiest way I found to paint it. I've done the first 2 coats. I didn't film me doing the second coat yesterday because it's exactly the same as the first one. But as you can see, they look like this now. And I'm really pleased with the finished result. I did have a little mess up here, which I'm hoping won't show once I've painted it. But yes, they look really good. And I'm going to put the gloss on now. Gloss paint is rather messy. I'm not the best painter, I have to say. I may have mentioned this in the video. I'm a very messy worker, and I tend to get gloss everywhere. So that's why I've been wearing the rubber gloves, so I didn't get too much on my hands. So I'm hoping that the rubber gloves help me with the gloss as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start painting these with gloss. As I said earlier in this video, I have painted 2 coats of the primer. It was quick drying paint as well, so I managed to do the 2 coats in one day. And now I'm going to move on and paint it in gloss. And this is the stuff that's really sticky. It gives a lovely finish gloss, but it is really sticky paint. And this is why I'm also wearing the rubber gloves, because last time I used the gloss, it stuck to my hands for a couple of days. So I've decided to use the rubber gloves. As you can see, I'm stirring the paint and I'm just getting ready. So I have poured again a little bit of paint into the tray, and I've rolled some paint onto the brush, and now I'm just brushing the top part. So I did exactly the same with the gloss paint as I did with the primer. So I start at the top of the cabinet, and then once I've done the top of the cabinet, I move round and I do the sides of the cabinet. I'm also going to be painting the inside of the cabinet in gloss as well. I know that no one is really going to see this part, and that's why I haven't done the back panel, but I just feel better that it's painted on the inside. And I just want to say that I only gave it 1 coat of gloss on the inside rather than 2. I was a bit afraid that if I gave it 2, the drawer might not fit back in the cabinet. So yes, that's why I've only given it 1 coat of gloss on the inside. Once I've painted the cabinet, again I move on to painting the drawers. So I started at the top of the drawer with the front of the drawer, and then once I'd painted the front of the drawer, I then moved on to painting the sides and the back. I didn't paint the bottom again. I left this because I wanted to paint that once the sides and the bottom had dried, but I did paint the inside of the drawer as well. Once I'd finished painting the drawers, I left them to dry, and then I moved on to painting the handles. So for this I used the same technique as I did at the beginning, and I held the top end of the handle and I painted round the bottom, and then I flipped it over and I put it on the cardboard and I painted the top of the handle. So I've done the second coat on the bedside table and it's looking quite good now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to screw these back into the fronts and then I can assemble the whole thing again. But yeah, it looks really nice and I'm really pleased with the finished result. And this is the other bedside table to go on the other side of Ted's bed, so it should look really good. I'm going to take it in there after I've done that as well and show you what it's looked like, but I'm not going to leave it in there because it still smells quite strongly of paint. So, and Ted's bedroom has just been painted as well, so I didn't want too much of a paint smell in there for when he goes to bed at night. So we're going to leave it in this room for a few days before we put it in there, but I will show you what it looks like. I start to assemble the chest of drawers. So the first thing I did was to put the handles back. So I put the screw through the hole in the drawer and then I tightened the handle on by turning it, and once I couldn't turn it anymore I then used the screwdriver to screw in the screw into the handle and the drawer again. And I just put the bedside tables back into Ted's bedroom and I'm really pleased with the finished results. It looks really nice with the other furniture in his bedroom. I painted my son's bedside cabinets, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.